What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel with your host that does the absolute most spiritual intellectual 777 here once again. And in today's video, we are continuing the dating one-on-one series by talking about self-confidence. Now, guys, you must, and you absolutely positively must have self-confidence when you go into the dating world, because if you don't, then other people are going to feel that from you and they're not going to want to date you. And we find confident people attractive because they know exactly what they want and they don't care what other people think. And as a result, like I said, they are extremely attracted to that. So that is like a hack, if you will, for you guys to know when you're going into the dating world, is to build up your self-confidence, which I will be talking about in a few moments. And it's a key component to have that. And a fun fact is that confidence is the number one attractive quality that men and women find when they're looking for a mate. So again, you need to build that confidence up within yourself if you want to boost up your chances of attracting your ideal partner to you, aka being magnetic and attractive. Your self-image / perception of yourself determines how other people see you. So if you see yourself as a boring person, then chances are other people are going to perceive you as boring as well. And if you want more in-depth information on how to shift your self-image, the link to that podcast episode is in the description below for you guys to go listen to, because I go greatly in depth about how you can shift your self-perception and your self-image. And it is imperative that you go check out that episode, because I do provide key, insightful information that will assist you in shifting your self-image higher, so that you can start attracting higher quality people into your life. And the last thing I want to talk about before I get into how you can build up more self-confidence, if you have a negative mindset towards dating, then none of your dates will go well. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So the first way to develop more self-confidence is to do more of what makes you happy. And it's hard to be self-confident when you're constantly surrounding yourself with a whole lot of negativity and dysfunction. So in other words, if you're in a dysfunctional environment at home, it's going to be harder to develop that self-confidence because you have a lot of resistance that's weighing you down from your immediate family members or whoever you live with. Because the simple fact is that no matter how much you try to rise up within yourself, if you have a whole bunch of negative people around you that are telling you you can't do this and you can't do that, and to always put yourself last, then the thing is that it's gonna be really, really hard for you to just rise up within yourself and to be able to master your emotions and master yourself when you're around all that chaos. Not saying that it's impossible, but I'm just saying that it's a lot harder to do so when you're in such a toxic environment. It's not up to anybody else to make you happy. That is your responsibility. And so many of us, we just go out here looking outside of ourselves for the ideal mate to come and rescue us from our own misery. But the thing is that we will be severely disappointed every single time, because people are not perfect, first and foremost. And second of all, putting that responsibility on someone else is highly, highly, highly selfish. And that other person is going to feel resentful to you in the long run, because you put all of that responsibility upon them when they didn't even really want it in the first place, which is going to cause them to want to get away from you because of all the toxic energy that's coming outside of you. And also another thing to note is that if you're surrounding yourself around a bunch of bitter single friends, then their attitude is going to rub off on you. And it's like the saying goes, you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with 5 bitter single friends, then guess what? You will inevitably become the 6th. Now note that I'm not saying that every single person that's single is bitter, because obviously there are a lot of happy single people, whereas there are a lot of miserable people that are in relationships. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. But anyways, you get my point. You've seen those people who constantly are complaining about, quote unquote, being alone, not being able to find a real mate, having unsuccessful dates and all this and that. And they're constantly talking down about men and women. And it's just extremely toxic and dysfunctional to be around that energy 24/7. And it causes us to lower our self-confidence when it comes to dating, simply because of the fact that we're surrounding ourselves with that low vibrational energy. Please realize that, surrounding yourself with a bunch of bitter people in general is going to weigh you down. It's kind of like the crabs in a bucket, right? When no matter how high you climb and when you get closer and closer to freedom, inevitably there are some crabs that are trying to like pull you down from reaching the top and going out and just expressing your freedom. But you must do this and you must fight hard against the resistance that's around you so that you can be successful in the long run. And once you get away from it, you stay away from it. See, this is most people's problem. They start getting some success and then they immediately sabotage it like this by going back to the same environment that broke them. If you're having a bunch of successful dates and you're doing more of what makes you happy and you're starting to raise your attractive levels, stay away from those dysfunctional people who are constantly bitching and whining and complaining that they don't have somebody that they can turn to and they can lean to. Don't go backwards, move forwards. You're not going back. You're moving forward. And another thing is that if you feel like running, go for a run. If you feel like dancing, go dance, regardless if someone is with you or not. The point being here is to do whatever makes you happy. And deep down, you already know inside of yourself what makes you happy. But the question is, why are you not doing more of that? What's keeping you from doing more of what makes you happy? And the thing is, when it comes to dating, is that doing what makes you happy attracts your ideal mate to you, because they're going to be seeing you shining your light and moving about in your authenticity and seeing you just having a flipping good time through life. And because of that, they're going to be drawn to you more and more and more. They're going to be like, wow, that person right there, ooh, I gotta have some of that. And so they're going to approach you, and it's all because you're just chilling, doing your own thing, and that you're not constantly seeking someone's approval to do what you love. Also, another thing that I want to cover before I move on to the next point, before I forget, is pleasuring yourself is not the same thing as long-lasting happiness. Because pleasuring yourself means you're trying to escape reality, whereas when you do what makes you happy, it actually enhances your reality. An example of pleasuring yourself is by binge watching your favorite TV show on Netflix or this new thing called Disney Plus. It just recently came out and everybody's talking about it. And also playing video games for long periods of time. Yeah, it's going to bring you lots and lots and lots of pleasure in the moment, but inevitably, like every other high, the high wears off and you're back to facing your quote unquote sucky reality. So the goal here is to do more of what makes you genuinely happy, not what pleasures you. Moving on to the next point. So the second key component in building self-confidence is knowing your worth, of course. This is a very, very obvious one that a lot of people overlook because people don't believe that they should know their worth or believe that they're worthy of anything. And basically what self-worth means is that your happiness and confidence is independent of what other people think of you. In other words, your self-confidence is not dependent on other people, period. And that you don't need someone else to make you feel important and to feel loved and to feel needed. Yeah, it'll help to have other people that know your worth as well, which you'll inevitably attract once you do embody your worth. But the thing is that you don't need somebody else to tell you that you are worthy and you are loved and that you are enough. And also realize that your confidence comes from within you, not from outside of you. And this is what many, many spiritual teachings from the ancient times have been talking about forever, is this very fact, is that all your happiness, all your confidence, all your joy, and all your fulfillment comes from within you, not from the outside world. There's lots of these celebrities who have everything that a person can ask for and then some, but yet many of them do not feel happy and secure within themselves. And because of that, they feel empty and hollow on the inside, and they feel like they need to overcompensate for this emptiness by collecting more and more and more stuff and by winning more and more and more accolades, because they're trying to fill a hole within themselves, when the only way to fill up that hole is to know your worth and to love yourself 100% unconditionally. And also note that when a person rejects you, it's not personal, meaning it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you suck or you're boring. It just means that that other person perhaps may not be ready yet for a relationship. And if that's the case, then you don't even want to be in a relationship with them anyways, because the only thing that's going to happen is that they're going to waste your time and theirs at the same time. And you don't want that. It's actually a blessing that that person rejected you rather than you getting into a relationship with them and wasting all this time getting in all of these arguments. And there's a lot of emotional distress and dysfunction going on. When you value yourself, you also send a subconscious signal for others to value you as well. So never forget this. It's like the law of correspondence states, as above, so below, as within, so without. So if you feel good about yourself, then others are gonna feel good about you as well. On to the next point, baby. All right, so the third thing to note when you're trying to build self-confidence is that you need to avoid dating unhealed people. Now, I know this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers and people are going to be like, well, don't unhealed people need love too? Yeah, that is true that they need love, but they need to cultivate that love within themselves first before they expect you to love them. It's not your job to love them. It's their job to love themselves. And then if they want to get into a romantic relationship with you, all will be better from that point when they start healing up, because they've filled their own cup, they've healed all of their wounds, and they've let go of a lot of core issues that have been holding them back. And so now they're ready to receive your love from the get-go, instead of you trying to change them and trying to get them on your level. Because let's be honest, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be re-raising somebody's son or daughter if they have issues. People who are unhealed within themselves don't know how to love properly because they don't know how to love themselves, and because of that, they will sabotage the relationship. So this is one thing that you have to keep in mind if you go down this route of trying to date a person that is unhealed. That's the risk that you take when you're dating them, is them sabotaging the relationship. And they may do that by cheating, by calling you different names, by just treating you badly because they treat themselves so bad. And like I said, you do not want to be wasting your time with these people, because they're only going to drag you down with them and make your life a living hell, because their lives are a living hell. And with that being said, their issues and problems now become your issues and problems simply because you've surrounded yourself around that bad energy, so to speak. And if you're an empath, you already know what the deal is with that. They're more sensitive to energies than an average person. So if you're an empath, you especially need to be extra careful about trying to date unhealed people, because they're pretty much going to dump their energy on you, and now their bad energy becomes entangled with your energy, and now you're wondering why you're attracting all of this chaos and dysfunction in your life. And like I said at the beginning, it is not your job to re-raise somebody's son or daughter. And if they have mommy and daddy issues that they haven't healed from, then they need to heal from that. Not you. It's not your responsibility to take on their baggage that they refused to deal with from childhood. And like I said, if they expect you to take on their problems, then they're extremely selfish for trying to dump all of that stuff onto you like it is your job to raise them. The moment you find yourself re-raising somebody's daughter or son, you need to get out of Dodge, guys, because that is a recipe for disaster. And I would hate for you to have to go through years and decades of pain and sorrow unnecessarily just because you chose to take on the role of their mommy or daddy. And in the end, you're just gonna wind up heartbroken and with a whole bunch of years wasted and feeling burnt out because you tried your best to help this person change when they don't even want to change within themselves. So it's best to avoid dating unhealed people. Moving on to the next point, baby. The fourth defining point that self-confident people have is that they know when to walk away. And it's just like in the business world, when they teach negotiation, you have to be able to know when to walk away when a deal is not to your liking. And the same thing goes for when you're dating. You need to know when to walk away when you're dating a person that doesn't check off your list of traits that you find attractive and they don't meet your standards from the get-go. Confident people just in general just don't have any problem whatsoever walking away from something that doesn't serve them. And that's something that you have to develop over time. This is not something that you're born with. This is something that's learned over time from experience. So I encourage you that next time when you go out on some dates is to immediately walk away when a person is throwing red flags your way. Don't even waste time with them. You know what I'm saying? Because you deserve way better than what you are currently getting. And another thing to note is this quote by Tony Robbins, and it goes something like this: you get what you tolerate. So if you tolerate drama and dysfunction, then guess what? You're gonna keep receiving drama and dysfunction because you've shown the universe that's what you tolerate. However, if you show the universe and other people that you don't tolerate no bullshit, then guess what? You're going to start attracting more and more higher quality candidates for when you go out on dates next time, and you won't have to waste time with these jokers that just want to take from you, but they don't want to give anything back. And you will stop attracting mama's boys and daddy's girls and people, you know, in general, who expect you to be their mama or daddy that they never had. And that is like extremely unattractive, because you come off as very, very needy and desperate, and you're trying to seek approval and validation from other people, and it's just not going to work. And confident people just simply don't have time to mess around with those who are confident and secure in themselves. And also another thing to note is that the person that you're dating will either raise themselves up to meet your standards or they won't. And if they truly love you, they will, because they're not going to want to waste your time with their bullshit. They're just going to cut straight through it. They're going to keep working on themselves so that they can get evenly yoked with you, so to speak, like Ace Metaphor likes to say. I don't know why he likes to use that yoke saying, but anyways, you know, Ace Metaphor is on his stuff when he talked about that particular metaphor. I guess that's why he calls himself Ace Metaphor. But anyways, the point being is, you need to stop settling and walk away from anything and everything that's no longer serving your highest good or your best interests. On to the last point. So the very last trait that all confident people have is that they love themselves unconditionally. And they do this by accepting all of their flaws, their likes, their dislikes, and insecurities. Everything about themselves, whether pleasant or unpleasant, you know, they don't care, because they accept themselves and they love themselves 100%. And when you start loving yourself, you start radiating confidence and positive vibes, which makes you magnetic for your ideal partner to come into your life. You know what I'm saying? You hold space for your ideal partner to come in, instead of you just being all desperate and needy and seeking them out. And like I said at the very beginning of the video, is that people are attracted to confident people. And when you love yourself, you start being more confident in your abilities and in yourself as a person as a whole. No one else will love you like you love you. And you need to keep this in mind, because even when you do attract your ideal partner, they don't know everything about you. They can't do what you love to do for you. They can encourage you and be a helping hand and, you know, just love you through what you're going through and through you following your passion. But overall, it's not their job to love you for you, if that makes any sense. But at the same time, they're going to love you through it, and they're going to keep on cheering you on. They're going to be your biggest cheerleaders. That's pretty much the only thing they can do. But it's up to you to do the work on yourself so that you can become a more confident, more polished person, and more loving person towards yourself. And in turn, you'll be able to have a lot more love to give in the long run to your partner in your relationship. And also another thing to note is that you're the person that you spend the most time with. So make the relationship with yourself a very healthy one. And when you do that, you're able to easily attract who you want to attract into your life. And also, you teach others how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. So in other words, if you treat yourself badly, do not be surprised when you attract other people who treat you badly. But if you treat yourself with respect, then you attract other people who treat you with respect as well. Like I said, with the law of correspondence, it mirrors back to you how you feel on the inside. So make sure to get your inner world right so your outer world can correct itself. And so with that being said, I thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and smash the hell out of that like button, and make sure to timestamp your favorite part of the video. And if you're brand spanking new to the channel, I first and foremost want to welcome you with open arms. And I want to say thank you for taking this time for checking out this video and allowing me this chance to help you along your dating journey so that you can attract your ideal partner like I have. And if you love the content that much, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button right down below, and make sure to click that bell right next to it and turn it from personalized to all, so that you get notified every single time I upload videos every single Friday on this channel at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you guys want to know the books that have enhanced my mindset around spirituality and dating, the links to those books will be in the description below for you guys to go buy and read on your own time. And keep in mind, those are affiliate links, so I do get 10% of whatever you buy from those links, whether you buy the books or not. Anything you buy off those links in general, I get a 10% commission off of. Just wanted to put that out there and just be brutally honest. And if you are a supporter of the 8 Mil Productions brand, make sure to go ahead and cop you some merch right now by clicking the link in the description below, so that you can go ahead and buy you some merch and represent the 8 Mil Productions brand. Go ahead and do that right now. And if you want the link to my 8 Mil Productions podcast, the link to that will be in the description below as well. And if you're curious to know which articles I've researched to formulate this video, those articles will be linked in the description as well for you guys to go ahead and read on your own time. Last but not least, make sure to go ahead and share this video on any and all of your social media platforms with your friends and your family that you believe will benefit from this video. And as always, peace in and out with the highest vibes, and I'll catch you guys next Friday.